Welcome to the Radio 690 ADV. On today's episode, we're going to talk about food, adventure camping. What's the better option? Packing it in a freeze-dried, heating it up with water, or just stopping at the store and grabbing fresh food? Well, today on the Radio 690 ADV, we're going to get into it. We're going to find out really what is probably the best option when you get out there and adventure travel. Coming up next on the Radio 690 ADV. KTM North Texas is your headquarters for everything KTM and your one-stop shop. Hey guys, Joe here, 690 ADV. Are you looking for a new KTM bike? Yeah, they got them. They got adventures, enduros, dirt, racing, street, parts and service? Yeah, they got it. KTM North Texas is one of the largest aftermarket parts suppliers and repair shops in the state of Texas. Yeah, Texas. They don't just service KTM. They service most every major brand out there. If you're needing a fix or just getting race ready, you needing some new gear? Yeah, KTM North Texas, they got it. From helmets to jackets, pants, boots, goggles, tires, rims, new plastics, and so much more. So if you want great deals and to be treated just like family, don't wait. Call 817-275-2228 or text 682-465-6637. Or you can just email Bert directly at bert@slmracing.com. Don't forget, tell him 690 ADV sent you. That way you get your discount. Hey, what is going on, everybody? Happy Sunday. Hopefully everybody had a great day. Hopefully everybody got their NFL in, or at least if your team played early, you got a little bit of that NFL time in. I do get it because I know by the Google Analytics that there are a lot of football guys out there that are watching the NFL on Sundays. It's one of those things. I get it because I'm an NFL guy too. Anyway, on today's episode, we're going to get into talking about food and eating and doing all those things when you're on your motorcycle adventure trip. And what is the better option? What are the things that you want to do? Do you want to actually pack food, like say mountain valley food, or like the stuff you get at Walmart or Cabela's or at any of the outdoor facilities? Or do you want to stop, grab some stuff, and cook it right there at the campsite? Well, you know what? There are many positives and pluses to both, and there are negatives to both. And we're going to get into it here in just a second. I'd like to thank KTM of North Texas because they're a great sponsor of ours. We don't get paid or anything like that. They're just great. They're real good to us, and they'll take care of you just like they take care of me. Don't forget, tell them 690 ADV sent you, and they will take care of you 100%. Anyway, on to the podcast. Food, camping, traveling, eating, all that stuff at camp. What is the best option? Well, best options are going to be, well, whatever works for you. There's no real right or wrong, so it's kind of a catch-22 to the podcast today. You'll get guys that are straight up all about just doing freeze-dried food. They'll tell you it's the best, and yada, yada, yada. And then you get guys that are all about stopping, grabbing, cooking, and making it right there at camp. I've done it both ways, and I see positives to both, and I also see negatives to both. Well, let's just start with the freeze-dried food. Mountain Valley, all the different ones. God, there's quite a few of them that are out there, and what makes them appealing? Well, they're not super cost effective. They are if you're feeding yourself. It's not too bad. They range anywhere from $4 to about $12 a meal, and it depends on what you're getting. And some of them are pretty good, and some of them are like eating cardboard with some flavoring on them. So that's the positives and that's the negatives to those types of foods that are out there. It's kind of a hit and miss. It's never ever science. It's never ever perfect. It's never ever a guarantee. And not only that, can you pack enough? They come in packets. Those packets will basically fill up your luggage pretty quickly, depending on how many days you go. If you're only going on 2-3 days, we figure it this way. You got to eat at least 2 to 3 times a day, or your body is just going to be struggling, especially at night. Okay, so here's the kicker. Let's just get into food in general. Riding a motorcycle all day is work, whether you like it or not. It doesn't matter if you're on the street or if you're on the dirt. Makes no difference. Your body's working, so you're burning calories. At nighttime, if you don't get enough carbohydrates and enough protein, and you're camping, say, at high elevation or high desert or something like that, guess what happens? Yeah, you're going to be pretty cold. I don't really care what kind of sleeping bag you have. It's just one of those things. There's no fuel in the body to keep the body nice and, going. I mean, because it's constantly chewing up on that food while you're sleeping. And the protein is the biggest thing. It's not carbohydrates, because carbohydrates are instant fuel. You want the protein. The protein is a big deal. So now that we've established why it's important to have certain types of foods, what types of foods do you need? And those freeze-drieds are great. And I've had Mountain Valley. I think they're the best, to be honest with you. You can get them at Walmart. You can get them at Cabela's. I think it's Cabela's or Bass Pro. I'm not 100%. But half of them suck. and half of them are kind of good. And there's only about 3 that I've found that I think are just amazing. What do you eat? What is your thing if you do freeze-dried? And could you do, like, say, a 10 or a 12-day trip on just nothing but freeze-dried food? I mean, if you had to, I think you could do it. I could do it, in a pinch. Here's a question. Would you want to? Would you want to? So if you're listening to this on YouTube and you can make a comment, please make a comment and tell everybody what you do and how you prepare for eating food. Do you do 50-50, like 50% freeze-dried, 50% fresh food, like grabbing it at the store? 30-70, how do you do it? And what do you do to prepare your stuff? Well, when I go on a trip, I catch flack a lot of the times from guys that basically sit there and say, oh man, we got to eat, sardines and we got to eat cheese and salami and blah, blah, blah. It's like, man, I don't want all that processed food when I'm at camp. I don't want that. It's greasy. It's fattening. I'm not a skinny guy from the get-go. I don't want to keep adding to my girth. I'm not fat, but I'm also not skinny. But my kicker is what I want to do is I want to make sure that I get something that my body can get nourishment, and it just, I feel so much better whenever I eat it, go to bed, and wake up the next morning. So, freeze-dried, stop it at the grocery store. Here is my 2 cents. Tell me if you think I'm crazy, wrong. Most people do. Here's where I'm at. Freeze-dried. I'm weird. I'm real picky about my food. Spaghetti, I like. Lasagna, I like. Freeze-dried food is a weird deal. And I love macaroni and cheese, and I've had freeze-dried macaroni and cheese, and my God, it is absolutely awful. So what do? I bring macaroni and cheese. Kraft, to be quite exact. I cook it in my jet boil, and I make it that way. The reason being is because the stuff that's freeze-dried is garbage. God, it's awful. It tastes like cardboard with some fake cheese on it. It's horrible. And it's just so much easier to basically pack macaroni and cheese as a quick carbohydrate. I don't want to eat that strictly as my dinner, unless I have to. But at the end of the day, guess what? If I got to, I got to. So what I do, I buy the boxes, I pull them out, I put them in Ziploc baggies, and then I take those Ziploc baggies, and that way I can pack them down, and I put the cheese and all that stuff into there. It makes it so much easier. That way I don't have a box, doesn't take up a bunch of space, and not only that, I can pack it in there and I can kind of just jam it in any direction I want to. Makes it super, super nice. I don't eat sardines. I don't eat mayonnaise. I don't eat sour cream. I am picky and I'm okay with that. That's the beauty part about being an adult. Eat whatever you want. And it was like, well, no. I eat what I want and that's just the way it's going to be. How about you? How are you about food? Now, on to fresh food. So basically, long story short, freeze-dried, you're gambling with that food. So you got to go spend money, test it out at home, find out what you like, take it. Fresh food, on the other hand, you already know what you like. There's not always going to be a grocery store. There's not always going to be a gas station or somewhere where you can stop to grab things that you need to cook your food and to make your meal at camp. Now, I personally, if I had choice and I'm on a long trip, I say 30% freeze-dried, 70% fresh, if I can make it happen. Reason being is I like fresh because I can hit a store at a town or just somewhere off the beaten path. I get what I want, and I know that I'm going to get something that's just going to stick to my ribs, and it's going to keep me, pumping my body and keep the fuel going and keep me warm at night. I've done it both ways, and I tell you what, I've been very, very cold at night due to not eating enough food because my body was basically run down from riding a motorcycle all day. Beefs, potatoes, onion, bell pepper, rice, chicken stocks, all those little things. And those things, what you're buying is you're trying to, or at least I buy, to try to buy what I'm going to eat for the evening, nothing more. I'm not trying to grab for 2-3 days. I'm trying to grab for one evening. And that way, anybody that's on board gets to eat, and who basically bashes and says that, you know what, you're not a true adventure camper, can starve. But 99% of the time, that the guys that give me crap when I get to camp, that are eating their salami and their sausages and all their little things that are, that are basically processed and everything, they're always asking, hey man, get a little extra there. Can I get some of that? You know why? Because it ain't working. Their deal's not working. They'll give you a hard time, but my thing is nourishment, man. You're riding a bike, it'll beat you down, you'll be tired, you've got to have nourishment, you've got to have energy, and it's going to do two things. You're going to sleep better at night, and you're going to be more refreshed in the next morning when you're ready to go and ride. So, which is the best? I don't think there is a best. I think that you win either way. I'll be honest with you. I really think you win either way. I think you need to figure out what you can live and what you cannot live without. And if eating freeze-dried works for you, then do it. It doesn't work for me. I need actual nourishment. I need energy. I need to be able to have my body working as a power plant while I'm sleeping, because I have woke up many times on many trips freezing from eating stuff that was absolutely had no nourishment. And I've learned over many, many years, it's better to be smart than to be freezing and stupid. So what do? That's up to you. I just think that you can basically make it work both ways. And do what makes you happy. Don't listen to your buddies. Don't listen to your thing. Do what works for you. If you want to stop at a store and get yourself some delicious food, go get it. Cook it at camp and watch how many people drool over your food. But my thing is freeze-dried or cooking it fresh. I say to go both ways if you can make it happen. So, my 2 cents. What do you think? If you can make a comment down below and let everybody know what you do when you're on your camping trips and what you're doing on your adventure. Now, 1 to 2 days doesn't really matter. I'm talking like a 2-week camping adventure. How do you make it happen? And explain why you do what you do. Anyway, I'm Joe. Happy Sunday. Hopefully everybody had a great day and a good week. I did. Not too bad. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for being part of the 690 ADV. And don't forget, get out, find your adventure, ride your bike. Seasons are changing. It's fixing to get good, guys. We can get out and ride. And all you ACAT guys, guess what? I'm fixed to put my jacket back on. Anyway, I'm Joe. Happy Sunday. Enjoy your football and enjoy your adventures. 690 out.